In this world, magic has brought about demonic dungeons and scary demons. But on the flip side, it also woke up people with special powers called the Awakened, who are brave enough to tackle the madness. Enter the Divine Squad, the most powerful group of awakened people around, led by our hero, Bai Yi, for the past 10 years. Their mission is to clean up the dungeons for an authority known only as God. Right now, the Divine Squad is gearing up for their 100th mission in a high-level dungeon. First up is Ling Yu, the lightning assassin, diving right in. They're taking on an L-class mission, which means it's super tough. They got backup from another team's Cloud Mage, Han, who can freeze anything in his path. Everyone's hoping that once this is done, they can finally kick back and enjoy a well-deserved vacation. Then we see Lucian, the team's awesome conductor, pull off this epic move by cranking up the gravity by 100%. With that power, our hero dives down toward the demon, picking up insane speed. Mana is buzzing everywhere, and when our hero hits, it creates a huge boom and blood flies everywhere. As our white-haired hero stands there glowing like a total god of war, it's revealed that he's an L-class nuclear saint. With the mission wrapped up, they confirm that the SSS-class Demon King has been taken out. Han is over here complaining while packing, saying it all happened too fast, so Ling chimes in, promising to find him some demon caves to mess around in. Lucian reminds everyone that it was a serious mission and they needed the whole squad, but then he asks our hero if the fight felt too easy. The hero responds that the intel mentioned the monster was special and had some hidden abilities. Just then, the brunette pulls him into a playful hug, grinning as she asks if he's planning to treat everyone to a feast after their vacation, or if they should just skip that and turn it into a hot little date instead. He playfully pushes her face away, saying they all need to head to the holy capital together. She groans about her failed ambush, claiming he just doesn't understand women. Out of nowhere, he suddenly asks if the guy behind them followed. The team says he was busy cleaning up and didn't fight the Demon King, adding he's always the slowest and the best at dodging real work. Then, out of the blue, this guy starts a new purge operation and green energy surrounds the area. In a flash, Hans gets his head pierced, and he drops dead instantly, leaving the rest of the team in shock. The traitor then spills that this was his true mission from God. Suddenly, our main guy realizes he can't move. The masked man explains he poisoned their breakfast with paralysis powder. Right then, he uses some divine move called Forbidden Vines, stating he had to be fully prepared to take out the strongest. Now they're all wrapped up in the vines, completely helpless. Our hero yells about how crazy this is while the dude just says it's God's order and that this purging operation was meant to clean up the squad itself. As our guy screams in despair, watching his friends get crushed by the vines fling the bodies of the remaining team members into the air. Our hero screams in pain, wondering why all this is going down when the Divine Squad didn't do anything wrong. He's demanding to know which god ordered this mess and why. The traitor rolls his eyes at Yene for still not getting it. In a flash, he races towards our hero and drives his arm right through him. This ugly dude says that when a god wants someone taken out, reasons don't matter. The hurt kid asks if their 10 years together meant nothing. The traitor just smirks, saying he still doesn't get why he was picked for this. From the start, God was playing with them like pieces on a board, and they were just pawns. He confesses that he earned their trust only to stab them in the back, and pretending to be their friend made him feel sick. With the mission done, he struts away, saying that on May 22nd, 2125, the squad is officially wiped out. Ironically, he adds that it's finally time for that long-deserved vacation. All of a sudden, our hero feels something stab him, but still tries to hang on. In the dark, a mysterious voice pops up with a tempting offer. He realizes he's chained up in a pitch-black space. A shadowy figure shows up and greets him with a sarcastic tone. When he figures out it's Belphegor, he's shocked. Belphegor taunts him, saying an SS-ranked king doesn't fall that easily, and that this place is his domain as well as his life force. But Belphegor picks up on our hero's anger and shows off his special ability, life regression. With this power, he can send our hero back to the past so he can change everything. He asks if he is interested. Our hero thinks back to his friends and their dungeon raids, but the memory of the traitor's grin fills him with rage. He's haunted by the brutal moment when his friends got wiped out. Fueled by fury, he takes the deal, swearing to take down the traitor of the gods above. The Demon King smiles, saying this was the response he expected, then hands him a pulsing heart as a welcome gift. Our hero asks why the demon wants to make a deal and what it will cost him, but all he gets back is a wicked grin. Suddenly, he hears a voice telling him to wake up. He opens his eyes to see a woman urging him to get up, and he realizes he's in a school for the awakened in 2105. With wide eyes, he realizes he's actually gone back in time. He looks down at his younger hands and sees he's sitting at a school desk. In that moment, he wonders if he's returned to the time before his awakening. The teacher chews him out for snoozing during the awakening ceremony and tells him to sit in the back. He's taken aback when he realizes it's his old teacher, Huang, and somehow he's back in high school. As he walks to his seat, he can't help but wonder if this is part of Belphegor's plan. Seeing his classmates after almost 20 years hits him hard. The teacher bangs on the desk to grab everyone's attention and dives into explaining the 5 elemental powers, lightning, flora, cloud, nuclear, and star. He tunes in closely as she breaks down how everyone can have just one element. She shows off her rare cloud element by conjuring a little magic with her hand. She explains that the elements are divided into combat, support, and special types, and mixing them up can lead to all sorts of unique professions. Then she tells the students that by awakening their potential, they've already left ordinary folks in the dust. She warns them with a serious look that they each only get one shot to awaken. The teacher warns that the job they picked today is going to change everything for them. He knows it will define his spot in the world. Looking around at the school brings back memories, reminding him of when he first started to wake up to everything. Then he notices a kid with glasses getting bullied, and it clicks. He recognizes him. Hong and his crew are making the kid's life miserable, calling him trash. Hong steps on the nerd's hand and boasts about how he thinks he's better just because he's about to awaken. Hong confidently declares that, compared to him, everyone else is just crawling insects. The glasses-wearing kid, scared, apologizes and hands over some cash to Hong. Our hero remembers how this same bully used to pick on him all the time. He steps in thinking that the dude has a knack for causing trouble. Just then, Ms. Huang shows up and tells Hong to cut it out. Hong tries to defend himself, saying the other kid bumped into them and claims it's only fair for the nerd to buy his friends a drink. Hong moves in close and says if she weren't pretty, she'd probably be out of here by now. The teacher steps in to help the student while the bullies walk away laughing. Our hero stares and Hong notices, grabbing his shoulder and shoving him, saying he'll be back to laugh at the weak. He tells the teacher he's sorry, but she insists it's not his fault. He used to think she was just strict, but she really helped him a lot after his awakening. Then someone announces it's time for their class to head to the awakening chamber. The teacher reminds them to stay calm so they don't get hurt. As he walks, he can't help but think about the two ways to awaken. The first is the natural method, like Hong's, which happens to people with talent and strong bodies during emotional moments. The second is in the school's special chamber, built over years of research. Inside, they push emotions and adrenaline to the max to trigger the awakening, making a person's full potential come out all at once. A student comes out hyped up, celebrating their blue-level profession. Awakening is seen as the ultimate chance to start over in life. When it's his turn, the teacher tells him to focus and not mess around like before. He nods seriously, remembering that in his past life, he awakened as an E-rank nuclear warrior and only later unlocked his rarest power. As he steps into the room, he's ready to kickstart the nuclear element. He's focused and all set, but then the system suddenly throws up an error. To his shock, it picks up all 5 elements within him. He feels a rush of heat throughout his body as things start to unfold. A message pops up saying the Infinite Awakening system has been activated. Since he controls all 5 elements, he can choose any starting class and later level up or get new ones. Confused, he asks what elemental accumulation means. He discovers he can not only pick a class now, but also unlock more down the line. He's curious if he can reach all the class ranks, even the rare ones. The system clarifies that he can only choose his first class. The demon gives him a nudge, placing a hand on his chest, and he feels the power from the demon's gift while getting flashes of awakenings. This is what Infinite Awakenings can do. The system warns him that once he picks a class, all his elemental bars will reset. With a grin, it advises him to make a smart choice. Meanwhile, outside, the other students are wondering why he's taking so long. Someone mentions he's finally coming out. Ms. Huang rushes over and asks what class he picked. Looking aside, he says he's going to disappoint her this time. But then with a smile, he reveals he became a nuclear warrior, green grade, a lowest rank. The teacher looks pretty disappointed but tells him not to lose hope, saying there's still a chance for him. He reassures her that it's all good and knows she probably feels just as down. She tries to comfort him and suggests he take a break, but he seems annoyed by that. Out of nowhere, Hong bursts into laughter, finding the whole situation hilarious. A blonde kid jumps in, making fun of the teacher for always going on about working hard. Yu stays quiet while Hong keeps poking fun, claiming everyone knows that's not how the world really works. He and his buddies laugh and point at our hero, showing zero respect. Hong steps closer and says having a low dust rank makes you worthless. Only the strong are favored by the gods, and the weak just get mocked. When our hero hears the word gods, he gets fired up. The blonde kid says people with low dust ranks belong at the back, and our hero asks why that is. The teacher and her students stand firm, their expressions serious. Hong says this is how the world works. No power means no future and definitely no justice. The strong just keep getting stronger while the weak get left behind. He laughs at the idea that hard work can actually change anything. The teacher chimes in, saying that for some people, their fate is sealed as soon as they're born. Hong makes fun of her, calling her a useless school worker. Then he looks at our hero and tells him that someone with a dust rank should just give up and stop wasting everyone's time. Out of nowhere, Ye grabs a drink and splashes it right in Hong's face. Fuming, Hong yells, asking what he thinks he's doing. Our hero just wipes his hands coolly and says he can't stand Hong's voice. Hong bursts out laughing, then charges at him, all pumped up and gathering this purple energy for his big move. The teacher tries to jump in, but it's way too late. Hong goes for his Star Thorn strike, ready to unleash some serious damage. But Yi, he just lifts his hand and a golden light explodes from it, blocking the attack like it's nothing. Hong's jaw drops, he can't believe what just happened. Then just like that, Yi counters and sends him flying. He's got that fierce look in his glowing eyes. The hit is so hard that Hong gets sent crashing to the ground, coughing and spitting blood, staring at Yi in a mix of shock and pain. He stands tall, his sword of light gleaming. As Hong struggles to get up, our hero is lost too, trying to process what just went down. Yi and Hong's buddies are in disbelief, not getting how Yi pulled that off. Yi just shrugs and says he picked this class and got a light sword with it. With a confident smile, he adds that he's just used to it. Hong laughs, saying that the guy just got lucky with that dodge. He's going on about being a rare abyss rank, acting like he's way above that trash. But the teacher suddenly gets it. It wasn't just luck. She's stunned he pulled off a high-level movement technique that only warriors can use. Parry is all about blocking damage at the peak of an attack, and it's super hard to master. The teacher thinks even her own master never nailed it after years of practice. She can't believe someone with zero experience could pull that off on their first day. That stays cool while Hong brings out his Astro Assassin bayonet, shouting in anger about whether Yi's ready to die. He swears he's going to make Yi crawl in front of everyone as payback. But Yi isn't worried at all. It's why he picked what a lot of people think is the weakest class. He believes it's a total mistake to judge someone's future just because of where they came from, and he thinks everyone will definitely come to see that soon enough. The two are gearing up to throw down, and the students around them start freaking out. One of them points out that using powers to fight is against the rules, plus there are a ton of people watching. Another kid mentions that Hong's dad is an official and his uncle is the dean, while Yi is just some broke student. The nerd is worried that if he fights back, he could get expelled and has no idea what to do. The teacher looks worried, trying to find a way to calm things down. She says they might end up being allies someday, but Hong is too pissed off to hear her out. He claims he was dissed in front of everyone and won't just accept an apology. With a nasty grin, he says he's going to make Yi regret it. Hong says he's going to show Yi just how big the gap is between their power levels. The teacher knows that the differences in their ranks come from bonus attributes. Yi being at the dust rank doesn't get any bonuses at all. A glimmer rank gets a 150% boost, while Hong, being at abyss rank, has his stats doubled. As soon as someone reaches abyss rank, her power is light years ahead of lower ranks. Yi's friend thinks there's no way Yi can compete with Hong in strength or status. He wonders why Yi would even think about fighting someone like that. In a world like this, steering clear of people like Hong is essential for survival, and if you can't avoid them, you got to just take the hits. He believes that swallowing your pride is the smart move, and challenging someone stronger is just asking for trouble. Hong fires up his ferocity skill and warns Yi that there's more humiliation headed his way. The teacher yells at Yi to watch out as the attack comes in hot. Yi realizes that blocking would burn through his stamina too quickly, and with Hong's speed, he barely has time to react. Hong charges at him with everything he's got, shouting to see if Yi can dodge the hit. He just grins and wonders why he should even bother dodging. Instead, he taps into his haste ability and charges right into the attack. With his skills maxed out, he activates Flash Blink and disappears, only to show up behind Hong in a split second. Hong is totally caught off guard, staring in disbelief at what just happened. Before he can react, Yi delivers a heavy blow to his back. Hong hits the ground hard, coughing up blood, while Yi coldly labels him trash, saying that's where he belongs. The other students watch, feeling confused as if Hong just tripped or something. Even the teacher and Hong's friends are left in shock, trying to process what they just witnessed. But there's a pink-haired girl who keeps her eyes on Yi, curious about what she's just seen. She figures out he used the warrior skill haste and its advanced version, Flash, but she can't wrap her head around how he managed to hit Hong so quickly. It's crazy that he ended the fight with just one swift move. Class Rep Chai Yin notices that Yi not only nailed the skills, but also used them smartly in the heat of battle. What really puzzles her is that he pulled it all off without breaking any school rules. Yi noticed he scored some experience points and 50 star element points for taking down Hong, but he felt it was barely enough and figured he'd have to start dealing with the laborers soon. Just then, Hong got back on his feet, furious, and yelled at Yi that he wasn't going anywhere. Seething with anger, he picked up his weapon again and charged at Yi from behind, shouting that he was going to finish him off. Suddenly, a firm voice called out, telling Hong to chill. It was the Academy's dean, pointing out that his nephew had embarrassed himself enough already. Hong, still frustrated, had tried to pin everything on Yi, but the dean brushed him off and calmly told the students to go home and take it easy, reminding them to share their new professions with their families. The word home hit Yi hard, leaving him in shock. The dean then turned to Yi with a serious look, calling him over. He placed a hand on Yi's shoulder, reminding him that fighting wasn't allowed at school, but that's when it hit Yi. If he really had gone back 20 years and his family was still alive. That thought hits him, and he suddenly remembers something important from the day he woke up. Without a second thought, he bolts off, leaving the dean talking to himself, totally confused. Both the teacher and the dean watch him in disbelief at his sudden reaction. The dean tells the teacher to keep an eye on her student and says he'll let this one slide. She bows and apologizes for the mess. In the dean's office, Hong is fuming about being humiliated and can't accept that he lost. He insists that Yi just got lucky, or there's no way he would have been beaten. But the dean snaps back, saying it wasn't just luck. He breaks it down, explaining that Yi pulled off a high-level skill right when he needed to, getting past Hong's defense with this advanced move called Flash Blink and hitting him hard after spotting his weak point. The dean mentions that Yi pulled it all off with just the basics, and even with 15 years of combat experience, he couldn't have done it that well. It's like a pro gamer taking down a noob with just simple moves. He warns Hong not to underestimate someone like Yi, especially since the kid is sprinting through the city, focused on something way more important. As Yi dashes through the streets, he's thinking about how getting revenge isn't the only thing on his mind right now. He finally skids to a stop in front of an old building, breathing hard, knowing he's found the place he's been looking for. Staring at it brings back memories of his past life, his home totally wrecked. As he looks at the door of his old house, determination fills his eyes. He knows he has to prevent that from happening again, even if it means putting his life on the line. Inside the house, Yi's dad is chilling on the couch, laughing at something on TV. It's May 22nd, 2105. Yi glances through the window and sees his mom calmly washing dishes in the kitchen. He feels a rush of emotions and can't help but watch her. When he finally walks in, his dad greets him with a big smile, thinking he must have gotten out of class early. But he's not really in the mood to chat. He just stands there, eyes locked on his mom, feeling a heavy weight in his chest. Tears start to fill Yi's eyes as he calls out to her, feeling really emotional. She turns around and gives him a warm smile, and he suddenly feels this huge wave of relief knowing she's right there with him. In the kitchen, she starts signing to him, saying she made his favorite sour and spicy noodles. It pauses for a moment, then makes a decision that really matters to him. With a smile, he asks if they can have pickled fish instead. She signs back that maybe tomorrow since the noodles are already made. But he insists, saying he really wants it today and suggests they go out for it. She laughs and signs that he's impossible, then takes off her apron. Yi quickly jumps in, saying he'll tag along to keep her company. From the couch, Yi's dad says his wife can go ahead and asks why Yi didn't even say hi to him. Then he suddenly remembers it's his son's big awakening day. Pumped up, he jumps up, grabs some beers from the fridge, and tells Yi to share the good news. He's all excited, saying he's a C-class electric warrior and even came home early to celebrate. But Yi, looking serious, tells him he didn't awaken today because he just didn't have the time. His dad's excitement crashes, and he looks really disappointed. He starts grumbling about how the neighbor's kid awakened as a glimmer class. Yi silently thinks that they're just a couple of fools. His dad insists that Yi should have at least gotten in Abyss ranks since he himself reached that level. He goes on about how hard he worked and all the sacrifices he made to raise Yi. As his anger builds up, a red aura starts forming around him, and he demands to know what class Yi ended up with. The atmosphere gets tense, and Yi, gritting his teeth, finally admits he hasn't told him yet. Out of nowhere, Dad smashes a bottle over Yi's head, shouting in fury. Disgusted, he rages that Yi awoke as a worthless dust rank. Furious, he yells, asking if he's trying to embarrass him. Yi thinks to himself that this guy's not just an awakened warrior, he's also his dad. Yi knows his dad is a violent guy who can't control his anger. He remembers back to his past life when his dad found out about the dust rank and just lost it, causing a huge scene at home. As usual, Yi's mom stepped in to protect him. Back then, Yi was too weak and scared to do anything. Furious, his dad took his anger out on her, beating her for an hour. That day, she ended up with a broken leg and a serious head injury that messed her up. That memory still haunts Yi. Now lying on the floor and feeling humiliated by his dad, Yi tells himself that even though he chose his class for its unique traits, he still needs time to develop. His dad, a C-class Abyss rank electric warrior with real battle experience, tells him to get up. Slowly, Yi manages to rise to his knees, realizing he can't take him on yet. With a hand pressing down on Yi's head, the older guy says he won't stop until he gets the result he wants. He knows he can't avoid this fight, but he feels a bit relieved since he managed to get his mom out of the house before it started. He definitely doesn't want her anywhere near what's about to go down. Outside, shopping bags hit the ground as the sounds of the fight ring out. Yi cries out in pain as his dad hits him hard. Suddenly, his mom shows up at the door and sees the awful scene. Yi spots the bags and realizes she came back too early. He gets it now. She rushed home to make sure he had something to eat, and panic washes over him. She wanted to make sure her son didn't go hungry, but now she's frozen in shock, watching her husband attack their child. He looks at her and coldly tells her their son is just a worthless thing she brought into the world. Yi remembers being locked up with his dad, who asks if he's really the first one to advance early. Usually, someone has to hit the blue tier before moving on, but somehow Yi jumps straight from green to that rare platinum tier. While smoking, his dad wonders why he's in trouble and if this place is for death row inmates. Yi stays quiet because he feels he deserves it. He can't shake the memory of watching his dad beat his mom to death. That image haunts him. In the present, he gets slammed against the wall by a brutal slap. He recalls that even without using skills, awakened folks are way stronger than regular people. No normal person could handle the kind of force his dad uses. As Yu struggles, his mom runs over, desperate to protect him. His dad shuts the door and looks at her with a mix of pride and bitterness. He thinks back to when he found out she was pregnant and how happy that made him. Grabbing a chair, he says the Bai family finally has a shot at rising up again. If two useless guys can have sons, then someone like Bai Lingsheng should be able to make something happen too. He claims that fixing the Bai family's reputation is all on him, but his anger takes over, turning him into a violent guy. He calls Yu's low-level profession worthless and blames it on his wife's bloodline. In a fit of rage, he raises a chair as if to hit her. Just then, green energy shoots out and knocks the chair away. He jumps in front of his mom, standing his ground to protect her. With determination, he makes it clear he won't let his dad hurt her. His dad finds Yu's sudden bravery amusing. Yu's mom tries to calm everyone down, but the man just laughs and says he has grown up. He seems pleased as he steps in closer. He knows he's not strong enough yet, but he's got no choice. As his dad charges forward with red energy, his vision starts to blur with blood. He tries to use his parry skill again, but his sword breaks under the force. Blood spills from his mouth as something hits him hard. In that moment, he realizes just how outmatched he is. His dad, an electro warrior with a bulky build, is way stronger. His ribs throb like they're about to crack. He tries to block the attack, but it's pointless. His father, consumed by anger, shouts that Yai is disrespecting his parents. Then he channels a brutal move called Heavy Black Lightning. The shockwave tears through Yi, almost leaving him cooked alive. With a cruel grin, his dad calls him impatient. He stands in front of his mom, knowing there's no way to escape this. His father seems oddly impressed and tells Yi he's shown some guts, but quickly mocks him, saying someone with such a weak profession deserves a beating. Even through the pain, Yi stays strong, clinging to his promise to stop past tragedies from repeating in this new life. His dad grabs another chair and mocks him again, asking if getting some powers makes him feel special. As he lifts it to strike, Yi's mom steps in to protect her son. Just then, there's a loud knock on the door, demanding it be opened. His dad freezes and Yi immediately knows they've arrived. The man growls, asking who's at the door. Outside stand the inspectorate, duty captain, and an investigator. They're searching the area after a tip about a wanted criminal and ask if he's seen anything suspicious. Strangely, the suspect looks almost just like his dad. Trying to keep his cool, his father laughs, saying the guy is always on TV, and if he'd shown up here, he would have reported it right away. The investigator glances at Yi and asks how he's doing. Trying to cover for things, his dad says Yi just fell while getting groceries and that there's nothing to worry about. But then he finally speaks up, calm and steady, saying his dad hit him. The older man turns to him in shock, surprised that his son finally stood up for himself. About 18 minutes ago, a hero spotted someone who looked like snow going into Zhu Mansion Building A. He called from a nearby shop before heading upstairs. The investigators have already searched that floor. He knew security would show up quickly, but didn't expect them to be there that fast. The investigator asked if the boy was reporting abuse. The dad joked around, denying he hurt him. But the boy claimed he was hit with a stool and a wine bottle, and his injuries could be verified. The investigator stayed quiet. You mentioned that according to Chapter 8 of the Divine Canon Law, if violent awakeners are deemed dangerous, they must be held for 15 days. The investigator was shocked and the dad was furious. He insisted the arrest was legal and that he had no right to complain. Just as the officer was about to take him, the father told his son to hang on. As they left, the boy's mom hugged him, bringing him a moment of calm. He felt the need to protect her for now, even though she only had 15 days of peace ahead. Through her tears, he promised her this would be the last time something like this would happen and that she wouldn't have to worry. The hero thought he still had time to get stronger. He didn't take that beating for nothing. After snagging the safe key from his dad, he retrieved the weapon his old man once betrayed his team for, one that could elevate someone from E rank to C rank. He found the hidden safe, grabbed the weapon, and felt ready to tackle the demon caves alone. Right now, those demon caves are the only way to level up one's profession, and most are controlled by the God Authority, only allowing guild members in. Driven by ambition, the hero turned to a few caves that are still open to the public, managed by schools. He also remembered a hidden cave from his past life. Standing before an old school, he vowed to become the fastest. It was a rough place filled with monsters where fighters could get stronger. At the police station, they were still talking about the wanted man, Snow. Some were worried he might cause chaos during the celebration. One guy even suggested that the captain might come back early, but the investigators shut down the conversation, saying it wasn't their place to discuss it. The hero's dad begged for leniency, saying it was his first mistake and he wouldn't do it again. He tried to bribe the investigator by mentioning his pregnant wife and offering contacts at a care center in Fushi country. The investigator coldly accused him of bribery again, reminding him of his past with the guild, and walked away. Another officer warned that if the bribe was proven, the punishment would be worse than just detention. She said he could either awaken or end up in prison by tomorrow. Feeling angry and helpless, the dad could only think about his son. Meanwhile, the boy figured that like his father, he'd be free in 15 days. But before that, he had to level up. The demon caves were his only shot. Demon caves are weird places that pop up out of nowhere and are usually guarded by guilds. They're filled with strong demonic energy and beasts. For awakeners, they're the quickest way to level up, but they're super dangerous and often need a team with permission to enter. In his previous life, the hero discovered this cave 5 years after a demonic outbreak. It had been hidden until then. F-rank caves need 3 E-rank awakeners, while E-rank caves need 5 F-ranks, 3 E-ranks, or 2 D-ranks. He thought this one was F-rank and the only hidden cave he could manage on his own. At the entrance, he reminded himself it's still undiscovered. It's meant for trained teams, but he had no choice. He stepped in, relying only on his weak stats. Inside, the cave felt like a frozen wasteland. He guessed it belonged to cloud-type beasts. Pushing through the cold, he spotted a huge ice monster lying among bones. Someone had definitely been there before. Suddenly, he heard a beast approaching, putting him on high alert. As he turned, a bloodthirsty forest wolf sprang at him. He quickly realized even one wolf was tougher than he was. Just in time, he stepped back to dodge its first strike. The wolf lunged again, but he managed to block its jaws with his sword and shoved it away. The beast roared, but this time, he was ready. He slashed and landed a clean hit. It took 3 or 4 strikes to finally take it down. Looking at his weapon, he thought about how this E-rank blade isn't something you'd find on the market. It fills the gap in his current strength. As the wolf died, he felt his strength, stamina, and other stats increased. Even when hitting its vital points, the beast's defense made it hard to take down in fewer strikes. Sighing, he muttered that he missed the days when he was just L-ranked. He estimated he'd need about 20 wolf kills to level up from E-rank. Checking his stats, he saw his elemental role gain 50 cloud-type points for defeating an E-ranked cloud-type beast, but the rest remained at 0. He recalled it took 10 levels to move up from E to D rank. Suddenly, growls echoed through the cave. As he looked ahead, a lot of glowing eyes appeared in the dark. A pack of forest wolves surrounded him, ready to attack. As the demon wolves swarm in, the hero goes to town on them, landing hits right where it hurts. He dodges their attacks with his quick moves and counters hard until all the wolves are taken down. With a final strike, he brings the last one down and bags some serious experience, plus he collects 18 wolf fangs from the whole ordeal. Now it's just the Wolf King left standing, a level 4 demonic beast. The hero has a tough time taking it down, but he keeps using his speed and fast strikes. After an intense fight, he finally takes it out. As a reward, he scores a rare wolf diamond, which he feels will help him level up to D rank. His level jumps to 2 and gets 12 stat points to assign. Feeling pretty worn out after taking down just 20 wolves, he realizes his E-rank body definitely needs more stamina. He figures he needs to find a dimensional jackpot soon or risk missing out on some cool loot. Most demon dens are claimed by guilds, making it super tough for solo players to level on their own. He picks up the Snow Wolf Diamond, a rare and valuable item, and thinks joining the Guild of Gods might be his best shot. The Awakener School, run by the guild, is where they discover talent for elite teams. Everyone hopes to graduate and make the cut. If you're kicked out, it could mean the end of your chance to grow stronger. He can't help but think about his dad, who got stuck at C rank after being booted from a kill team. Leveling up solo is slow, and the cold here really drains his stamina. With more demon beasts closing in behind him, he decides to make a break for it. He heads into the thick forest, chopping down trees and using them to hold off the enemies. But all that noise attracts even bigger threats. A cloud python shows up, and the demon wolves are all over him again. Just then, there's a huge explosion nearby. The sound wakes up one of the bigger monsters, a massive B-rank beast bear, just like the hero was hoping for. The smaller monsters turn their focus to it, and in a fit of rage, the bear starts tearing into everything in sight. He takes advantage of the chaos around him and quickly moves in, taking down 2 wolves and a python with ease. He dodges attacks and picks off stray enemies, managing to defeat 3 more without getting hurt or tiring himself too much. All thanks to the distraction caused by the cloud bear. With his level now at 4, one serpent heads his way, but before it can attack, Yi slices its neck cleanly. There are still plenty of wolves to deal with, and he can already feel the tension building in his muscles. He decides to go all out and use up his remaining stamina to take down the last enemies, as it's the quickest way to level up anyway. A message pops up on his screen, granting him the title 1 against 100, which boosts his stats by 10% when fighting multiple foes. As he battles, he can't help but wonder about the boss lurking in the den. Every demon den has a leader, and he suspects that the E-rank lord is going to be quite the challenge. But why hasn't it shown up yet even after all that commotion? Just then, he notices a cold wind heading his way and realizes it's magic. The swirling energy rushes toward him, forcing him to sprint toward the cave's edge. It becomes clear the king was biding its time, waiting for everyone to tire out. Suddenly, the magic freezes the beasts and wolves in place, creeping up his legs. Looking down, he sees he's half frozen and quickly looks up to face the real ruler of the cave, a cloud element mage, the den lord of the forest. Smart and deadly, it appears alongside 2 level 10 demon monkeys. Stuck in place, the boy can only watch in disbelief as the situation turns dire.